Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. Alright, this lesson is going to be about being careful with temptation, because temptation can overtake you. So you have to be careful, alright, on what you watch and what you're listening to and what you're putting your energy into, okay, because temptation is all over. We're all different. We all go through different things, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation, okay? You don't want to go somewhere. You don't want to watch something. You don't want to listen to something that can trigger your temptation, because your temptation can take you out. All right, it can overcome you. All right, that's why you get counseling from brothers who are older than you, or hell, brothers that are going through the same thing, whether y'all be on the same rank or whatever. That's why elders are so important, because they have already been through the, through the fire. They done been, you got elders that have been kicked out, came back. You got brothers that have been cursed out, and chastised. Brothers that done overcame so many different things, man. Hell, you tell a brother something, he'll be like, you know what, bro? I can't really help you with that, but I know a brother that can. You know what I mean? And they'll point you in the right direction. Or a brother will give you the best advice he could possibly give. He can counsel you, help you out. But you ultimately have to take heed to what you hear from the brothers, from the scriptures, man. You go to the ultimate source, the scriptures. The scriptures are your healing. You know what I mean? Yahweh Shai is our healer. So we go to Him for healing. He's our physician. When we're weak and sick and things of that nature. When we're down. This word is our uplifting. So, we just have to make sure that we don't fall into temptation, because the hour of temptation is coming. And right now, while we're in the green tree, this is all training. Of what we, it's like a tolerance measure of what we can take, all right, and what we can cut off and do without, all right, because the ultimate temptation is coming. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So the spirit is willing, because you want to do right, but the flesh, man, to change the darkness, is weak. So you got to know, man, hey, it's a confliction between the two, the spirit and the flesh. So you have to take heed to that, man. All right? You got to take heed and understand that it's a war. All right? It's a war for your soul. And you have to fight for your salvation. This is a fight, man. All right? This is a race, a fight. All right? This is the ultimate. This is the last go. This is it. There's nothing after this. There's no more chapters, baby. Revelations is jumping. Them damn prophecies are jumping off the pages, baby. That's it. This is it. No, we don't make it now, we'll never make it. This is our last go. So if you don't take heed, get yourself right now, it'll be too late later on, man. No, right now it's time to get yourself in order. All right, before the true test comes. Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. So you can't serve two gods, man. You're either going to choose Yahweh or you're going to choose Satan. You know, that's it. You're either going to be on the right hand side or the left, but you can't be in the middle. All right, the Lord won't tolerate the middle. He don't. There's only one middle He's dealing with, and that's Yahweh Shai. All right, and He's the middleman for us. But other than that, the Lord wants you on one or the other side. All right, and that's it. You can't be in between. All right, there is no in between here with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. Salakia. Let me see if I can think on it. Hold on. Salakia. It was 3 and 16. Revelation 3 and 16. So then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth, because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. All right. Should have started at 15. Matthew 3 and 15. It says, I know thy works, and thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So because you're not hot, you're cold and hot, you're in between. So the Lord is not dealing with that. So He's going to spew you out, man. The Lord is going to spew you out His mouth. He's not going to deal with you. All right, He's going to get rid of you. All right. And you think you're good right now because the Lord, blessed you or allowed you to have the type of life that you have, but you don't even understand that you are wretched and wicked. You think you're good. So you feel like, hey man, I'm good. I'm a half-assed. The Lord not dealing with that, man. The Lord would rather you either hot or cold. But a middle guy, straddling the fence, serving two masters, the Lord's not dealing with that, man. All right, the Lord's not dealing with a lukewarm man. Either hot or cold. Choose a side. But temptation, you cannot give in to that temptation. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. The Lord said, if you're either with me or against me. So it's either or. Choose life or death. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.